Today I'll be showing you how to build your own portable ARB twin compressor. Welcome to Crawl207. My name is Larry. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing, hit the like button and the notification bell when new videos are uploaded. Today I'll be reviewing my necessity build on a compressor. We have an overland rig and I bought a twin compressor, ARB twin compressor for it. Not really sure where I wanted to mount it. A little conflicting locations. We have a Lightner design rack with the pods on the back. Maybe in one of those. I would have required lengthening some lines, or some cables or whatever that came with it. And another location was under the seat, the passenger seat in the vehicle. That has its pros and cons. And the obvious, where a lot of people put them, is under the hood, which wasn't even a consideration for me because of the heat, the elements that it's exposed to, so that wasn't really an option. So maybe I can do portable. And after some deliberation, and to fit our needs with multiple vehicles, portable was the answer for me, for sure. So what I did, we had this Harbor Freight, this is a 3800 Apache Harbor Freight box. There's a bunch of companies that make these, obviously, but this one we had kicking around. All right, so let's see if it'll fit. So I pulled out the pull tape and did some measuring, and boy, it's going to fit in this box. This might work. So sure enough, I made it work. So let's take a peek inside. What I've got, this is just your basic tire plug kit. Fits in there pretty slick. And this is the cable. This is actually the one that came with the compressor. I've modified it just slightly and weatherproofed it and whatnot, and I put a connector on the end, which we'll talk about. This is another connector I made for any vehicle battery. And this last little thingy here is just a plastic trim tool I put in for winter wheeling. Scrapes the snow around your valve stem because sometimes it's necessary. But anyhow, on to the build. The most difficult part of this project was really accommodating the compressor in this little box so everything else could fit in here. I wanted to make sure that I had room to access my air intake filters, which are removable and cleanable, replaceable. And in the back, there's the fan that blows across, and room for the wires that are wired to the back of this compressor, and have room for a switch. So that worked out pretty slick. It's a little tight, but it worked. And then, as well as have enough room in the box for the cables and maybe some accessories. So I think I did a pretty good job. So the build process, again, was a little fiddly, getting this in here, lining it up, and then just drilling some holes in it. And the same with the brackets and stuff, was just making sure everything was in the right spot. Now, what I did, I could have just thrown this compressor in this box. It'd probably been fine, but I had some rubber kicking around. I put a little piece of 1/8 rubber underneath it just for isolation and noise dampening, I guess. In the front of where the air exits, the fan blows the hot air out, I guess, because they get pretty hot. I put in some reflective sticky back material we had left over from a Hotheads headliner that we'd installed a year or two ago. And that worked pretty good. I made my little switch bracket here out of some 1/8 ABS plastic I had kicked around. Just took a little torch to it and bent it and drilled some holes and file and made a square hole, a rectangular hole for the switch, and a couple of bolts on the back to hold the switch in there. And down here you can see that I put in, this is just for safety for this wire. It's just a single hole wire clamp it's got some protection on it with one, and it does a fantastic job of holding the wire in securely, so the person could trip on this as you're airing up and it's not going to rip it out of the back of the compressor. Try to use all stainless hardware, that stuff that I had kicking around basically. But yeah, that's the installation part. Again, was a little fiddly, but boys, I was pretty excited when she fit in there, and as slick as it did. Now onto the cable. This is basically the same cable that comes with it. I had wrapped the signal cable basically for a light for this. I put that in some conduit and just wrapped it aside this. These are the fuses, because you want to keep this as close to your battery as possible for design. And I soldered on instead of the ring connectors, I soldered on an Anderson connector and taped it up for weatherproofing and whatnot. In 2 of our vehicles, currently, I also soldered in, well, the other end of this right to the battery. I mean, you just plug it into your battery, which I'll show you, and you're airing up. You know, this combined with the Morflate inflate tool, and it's a pretty slick rig. This particular device here, this is just an accessory. You know, this plugs into here, and you can plug this into any battery. Just in case, you know, we're somewhere that someone needs one, or a vehicle like my plow truck, for instance, that has a tire that likes to leak. I'll just throw this in there with one hose, and I can just throw this in my plow truck behind the seat, and I can air up my plow truck tires. That works pretty slick. So if you folks have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them down below, and I'd be more than glad to answer them. And tell me what you think of my little build. It was pretty inexpensive. Again, we had this kicking around. You get these on sale for like 30 bucks to 40 bucks tops. These connectors are on Amazon, cheap. I bought a 10 pack of these stinking things. I've got them on some other stuff. These alligator clips are pretty cheap. I just have them kicking around. They're from Radio Shack, that's how old they are. But hey, they worked. They're soldered and taped up, shrink wrapped. And these little innocent connector protector dealies, I bought a 10 pack of those from the Jungle site. And I think this material, this ABS material, let's look this up. Again, this is stuff I say kicking around. But this ABS material, you can buy it by the sheet. It's pretty cheap. This is just 1/8 inch ABS. And the hardware, again, most of this stuff I had kicking around, but it's pretty cheap stuff. You don't have to use stainless, but I did just because of the environment. In the bottom of this, there's got 4 bolts that bolt this down to whatever in this box. I used some blue thread lock and some silicone just because it's on the bottom, in case this sits in water, which it may, and it has once. But this we're airing up in the rain. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the build. We'll go check her out and see what you think. We're going to plug her in and air up a tire and demonstrate. So, final assembly weight with all accessories is 27.8 pounds. Time for a demo. It's that simple. Suppose I didn't unfurl all this just because it's just one tire, but that's basically the setup. Again, I've got one of these fellas in another vehicle, and as earlier stated, I've got the Anderson connector with the battery. You can clip on any battery. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Well, there it is. That's a wrap up. If you like the video, give her a thumbs up. I appreciate you. Again, make sure you subscribe if you know. I appreciate that as well, and hit the notification bell. Till next time, see you on the trail.